What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2026 Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. Huge thank you to Mike.Dwyer over here at More Cadillac of Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular CT4-V Blackwing or any Cadillac product at or below MSRP, then I'll be sure to have Mike and More Cadillac's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Man, it has been a little bit of time since I filmed my last review video, and quite frankly, I'm feeling a little rusty. However, it is really nice outside, which makes for nearly perfect filming conditions, so not a bad way to come back. So just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2026 Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing, and this particular one has been painted in the awesome $625 Drift Metallic. This paint matches the CT4-V Blackwing very nicely. I wanted to mention, for 2026, there have been no major changes made to the CT4, but this particular one being the 4V Blackwing, as standard, you get LED headlights with IntelliBeam, as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED front cornering lights. Taking a look at the front end of this thing, overall you get a really aggressive design, and one thing I really like is it almost looks like you have a cowl hood, but you get that bulging hood design that you can see in certain lights. It just really adds to the sporty aesthetic here of the CT4-V Blackwing. Love the way that looks. We'll get more into that here in a second, but I wanted to point out you get a gloss black front grille. And one thing that is interesting about V products is just with the mesh style, you get that V. So I don't know, it's just a cool little Easter egg I figured I'd point out. Cadillac logo there at the center. You get the same thing here on the bottom with that V, with that mesh style grille. Tons of gloss black accenting, not only on the outside of the upper grille, but also here on the outside of the lower grille. Tons and tons of air openings here to feed all these radiators down here, so that twin turbo V6 gets all the air that it possibly can to keep the engine cool. You also get gloss black outer grills as well, and you can kind of see the radiators here behind the outer grills. I also wanted to mention, speaking of safety features, you get 4 forward-facing sensors for the front park assist system. Very nice feature, and they are actually very sensitive, I noticed when sitting in the driver's seat and moving it around a little bit. One thing also it is kind of interesting about the 4V Blackwing is that you don't get like a total front chin here. You kind of get like these two outer splitters. So you get the one here on the outside, obviously, of the passenger side, and then symmetrically speaking, you're also going to get one on the driver's side as well, but you don't get one that goes all the way across the bottom, which I think is kind of interesting. And then also, if you did want a really aggressive front end, like if you wanted a CT4-V Blackwing 1LE, like you'd get like a ZL1 1LE, you get all those Nakaducks and Canards and stuff like that. They do offer, and it is very expensive, the $6,650 carbon fiber package 1. It's going to give you the carbon front lip. It's going to give you the canards. It's basically going to look like, again, CT4-V Blackwing 1LE, like a ZL1 1LE. You're going to get all very similar things that you would get with that package. Again, very expensive, but I think it would be worth it if you got the money. Coming down the side, this being a Blackwing, obviously you are going to get the magnetic ride control system. So it is going to stiffen when you put it in sport mode. It's going to loosen when you put it in normal mode. It also almost looked like to me when I was filming the shot to get you of what the suspension looked like, it almost looked like it had stainless steel brake lines. I can't confirm or deny that, but it did kind of mention that on the Cadillac website. But I'm not going to throw that out there and say that that's what it is, but it looked like that. Also, this being the Blackwing, you are going to get 6-piston Brembo front brakes. You're also going to get 4-piston Brembo rear brakes. And then stylistically speaking here on the side, this particular one has been optioned with the $600 18-inch satin graphite finish wheels. And the wheels are wrapped in 255/35 in the front and 275/35 in the rear. Michelin Pilot Sport 4S summer tires. So I'm not sure if Cadillac offers an all-season tire here with the CT4-V Blackwing. I would probably say no, but I don't know that for a fact. These are the summer performance tires, however. And then last but not least, this has also been optioned with the $595 red brake calipers. I believe this does come standard with gray brake calipers, and they also offer optional blue brake calipers. Standard, you get the rain sensing wipers. One thing that is kind of cool is that you get the fender vents there that are gloss black. Also, body color side view mirrors with integrated turn signals. Standard, these side view mirrors are heated, manual folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming. You also get the blind spot monitoring function. You also get the memory function. So you get 2 memory settings here with your driver's seat. Those are going to memorize both of your side view mirror functions or settings. And then you also get puddle lights at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors, which is very nice when walking up to this at night. Here's a side profile shot of this thing. Yes, not quite as large as the 5V Blackwing, but there is something to be said about this being a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. It handles fantastic. We'll get into that in the driving portion of the video. Gloss black window trim. All of your door handles get keyless access. And then obviously you are going to get the V Blackwing badging on your front 2 doors, letting everybody know what you got. And then you also get the gloss black side skirts on both sides. Coming around back, speaking of gloss black, you get this massive gloss black rear spoiler. It really accentuates the booty of this thing. It looks fantastic. I love it. LED taillights, standard. And they also kind of get that smoke design there on the lenses. Your badging back here is satin chrome. Get your backup camera there. And the trunk, I would say, is about the same size as the trunk that you would find in the CT5. I believe your battery is beneath there, just like what you get also on a CT5. And then underneath here, you have, I believe that's your tire inflator kit, and then your tow hook and stuff like that. Closing that back up, you also get 4 parking sensors back here as well. You get a really nice and aggressive looking lower valence down here with the quad tipped exhaust system. You do get an active exhaust system. Take a listen. Sounds fantastic. Honestly, this is one of the best sounding V6s that I've heard. And it almost sounds similar-ish to the inline 6 found in the BMW M3. A couple other things that you get with the Blackwing. You get an electronic limited slip differential, a 373 rear axle ratio, and then you also do have to fill this thing up with premium fuel. It does ask for 91 plus, and you get a capless filler neck, and that kind of about does it for the exterior of the CT4-V Blackwing. I love the size of this thing. This is the size that M3s used to be before all sedans nowadays seem to have really gotten bloated. I mean, take a look at the new M5. The new M3 is the same size as the older like E60 M5. So you can see all the sedans have just kind of bloated. And this is really what a sedan should be. Small, nimble. Yes, it would be cool if it had an LT1 under the hood, but when you guys see what this thing how this performs on the street and what it sounds like, I think you'll be actually very surprised by how good this little V6 is. So anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 3.6 liter twin turbo V6 that produces 472 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. This one's been mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, and if you're a good driver, you can see 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. And if you are wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city, 23 miles per gallon on the highway for 18 miles per gallon combined with rear wheel drive. They also offer an optional 10-speed automatic transmission, but that is going to cost you an additional $3,175 over the 6-speed manual. And if you're getting this car, honestly, if you are an enthusiast, I would highly recommend the 6-speed manual. From what I've read, this is a Tremec TR6060. I haven't really gotten to feel what it feels like, but so far it feels like a TR6060. I have a T56 in my Corvette and a TR6060 in my Camaro. It feels very similar to the way that my Camaro shifts. Fantastic transmission. And one little tidbit of information you guys might want to know that I thought was really interesting is this thing actually has a twin disc clutch from factory. If you guys didn't know that, drop a comment in the comments down below. But if you're enjoying the video so far, please just take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things are very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. Not only do I post on YouTube, I also post on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed. I'd appreciate it if you guys would follow and support me. You know, that just helps me achieve my dreams. So anyways, with that stuff out of the way, let's take a look at the interior. All right, moving on into the interior. As standard, you get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob on you, press this button right here, and she will unlock. You can press that very same button again, and it will lock right back up. One thing that is really cool about either the V or the V Blackwing products is that you get the V logo here on the key fob. And from what I've been told, you see how this is red? Well, this one's been spec'd with the red calipers. I've heard, and I don't know if there's any truth to this, that if you option for the blue calipers, well, where this red area is, it would be blue. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have been told that, but every V that I've done a video with, well, it's had the red calipers, hence why I don't know the answer to that question. But anyways, taking a look at the key fob, you have your unlock and your lock functions. This being a manual, you don't get remote start. Pressing that button twice is going to pop open the trunk, and then you also get your panic function. Well, let's see what the interior of this V Blackwing has to offer. So first things first, isn't that pretty sick? I mean, come on, doesn't get much better than that. That is a very expensive option that I will get into here in a second, but bear with me. We're going to start on the door panel here. So you have your 2 memory settings here. You have your unlock and your lock functions. I believe this is some faux leather, but you also do get some nice suede here on the mid part of your door panel. As standard with the V Blackwing, you get the 15 speaker AKG sound system. If you get the CT4-V, you would get a 14 speaker Bose sound system. Coming down a little bit, you have your side view mirror controls. That is not only to restrict the passenger window privileges, it is also the child lock for your second row passengers. You get automatic up and down windows in the front. You only get automatic down windows in the back. You get a padded armrest right here, a little bit of storage space, water bottle holder. That is to pop open your trunk, and then you also get a speaker. Brushed aluminum door sill with the V logo. And then this is with these front seats. So this one has been optioned with the $4,900 jet black leather with perforation and quilting on the sport bucket seats. You can see the quilting. Also, you get that thigh extension. They are power adjustable, as you heard. They are also, or I guess I didn't mention this, but they are also massaging. You get the V on your headrest. I mean, these are not only sick looking, but they are also very comfortable as well. And in addition to everything I just mentioned, as standard, these front seats are heated. However, this one's been spec'd with the $600 climate package, which gives you the massage function. It also gives you the ventilated seat function, and then that package also includes a heated steering wheel as well. So absolutely sick seats. I know they are expensive, but if you're getting the Blackwing, I highly recommend getting these seats because it just really adds to the look. You can see it from the exterior, so it really adds to the look on the exterior, but it also adds obviously to the look on the interior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this thing in accessory mode. So I'm just going to click it on here real quick. And what I'm going to try to do is see if she will let me get into, okay, well, I guess I got to start it. But now we're going to put it into V mode. And I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up. Actually, I'm quite sure that the camera's not going to pick it up. But basically, when you put it into V mode, it switches you into your sport gauge cluster here, which looks sick, but then also opens up the exhaust. So this, no joke, is one of the best sounding V6s that I have ever heard. So I was kind of bummed that they didn't put the LT2 or LT1 in this. But after seeing and experiencing this thing here in person, it sounds fantastic, and it's also very quick as well. So there's something to be said and a little bit special about a twin turbo V6. I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, it should have a V8. Not everything has to have a V8, right? I'm a huge V8 guy. All my cars are V8s nearly. But there is something really special about this V6, and you'll see that on the driving portion of the video. Down here, that is for your parking brake. Then that is to brighten and or dim the gauge cluster and the backlit buttons. This particular one's been optioned with the $1,600 performance data and video recorder. So this is where you would slip the SD card in for that. And then beneath that, this has also been optioned with the $725 technology package, which gives you the head-up display. So here are your head-up display controls. So you can move it up, down. You also adjust the information and the brightness. So we can go into the information. Like right now, it's a tachometer and the digital speedometer readout. I'm not sure if you can see that. Now it's just the digital speedometer readout and the tach, and then it's the digital speedometer readout and the speed limit sign. So those are the different things that you get. With that, take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. That is also the headlight control stock as well. One thing that is very nice about the Blackwing is that you get a power tilt and telescoping wheel. Bring it out, push it in, and it also moves up and down. Very nice looking pedals down here. You get the floor mounted accelerator. Love the way that these pedals look. Basically look like they're directly out of a Camaro or like a C7 Vet. Zooming back out. Leather wrapped steering wheel. You have your red line there at the top. I forget what that is called. But one thing that is interesting is that GM now did away with the Camaro, did away with the manual vet. So the only cars now that GM has, I believe, that are manual are Cadillac products. I mean, what? And they're both sedans. It does not get much better than that. I'm a huge fan of fast SUVs. I'm a huge fan of fast sedans. Cars that shouldn't necessarily go as fast as they can, but do. I mean, there's just really something special about that. And other than like a manual M3, what other sedan, somebody's going to comment, what other sedan can you get that's a manual, that's fast, good suspension, good everything? Leave a comment in the comments down below, because I can't name many off the top of my head that are like this or the CT5-V Blackwing. Horn at the center. Sounds like an American horn. You have your adaptive cruise control stuff here on the left, heated steering wheel with the climate package, safety stuff there. Hang up on a phone call. That is to speak to the vehicle. This is obviously your V mode button. It's going to put you into your setting, but it's also could be the most aggressive mode depending on how you set it up, and it'll pop up here on the digital, or on this screen here. Basically, you can set this up exactly how you want it to be for V mode. And then you also have your performance traction control settings. I believe you have like 5 of them. So you have inactive. You also have wet. All right, now I've got my traction totally off, so I'm going to go up. Wet, dry, sport, race 1, race 2. So you have your different traction control settings with this little thing here. Flip of a switch, boom, easy to do. I'm going to leave it in sport. These are to go forwards and backwards on the track. Volume controls, and then you have these controls here for your 12-inch digital gauge cluster that you get as standard with the Blackwing. So you got your V performance stuff, driver assistance features, audio stuff, nav stuff, phone stuff, maintenance stuff, and then you can also adjust what you see on the display. So the display theme would be like sport mode, tour mode, and all the different modes that you have here. So we can kind of see that dependent. Right now it's linked to the drive mode, right? So I can go over here to my drive mode selector. I click down. I can go into I want to go into my modes. That's not the mode that I want to go into. Oh, okay. Well, anyways, I'll get into that here in a second, but we're going to go back over to here. And you can also adjust what you see on these tiles. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. It's a pretty cool system, and you can also go in between all of these different things here on the screen as well. And this is like for your tile selection. So let's say we wanted to go into engine boost. You can put that up over there. You want to go into oil pressure stuff, because you always need to know that. Then you get your tire status, and maybe also you want to have your oil temperature there, or you can have your G-force stuff. So basically you can configure that side of the screen exactly how you want it to be. And then also, again, you go in between your different drive modes. It's going to switch what the gauge cluster looks like. So it is a very, very cool system. But yeah, that is kind of about it for that area over there. We're going to go back into our tour mode, and you'll see it brings us back into this really lame looking gauge cluster. So that's kind of about it for that. Coming over to here, as standard with the V Blackwing, CT4-V Blackwing I should say, you get an 8-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation, as well as wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto connectivity. Very simple and easy to use system. You get your PDR system here, home button, volume control knob, and then this is to control that screen there. Very easy, basically like any other Cadillac product from the past few years. Easy to use screen. You get your 2 HVAC vents, and honestly, I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but Cadillac has now gone to a 33-inch screen in the CT5-V and nearly everything. I mean, take a look at the new Escalade. It's just basically a big screen. I think this is peak Cadillac interior here, right? You get that cowl kind of design here with your gauge cluster. This is what I prefer personally. Like, this is like the perfect blend of everything, right? You don't have a big screen. You have your physical controls here. I mean, this is what I look for in a modern vehicle. I don't look for the nice big screens. I'm not a really big fan of the screens. This is what I prefer. If you guys agree, let me know in the comments down below. You also get your physical controls here for the climate control system. You get your heated and your ventilated seats functions. Heated seat standard, ventilated seat comes with the climate package. Then you also have your parking sensors, your hazard button, lane keep assist stuff. Wireless charging pad comes standard. You get your manual transmission here. It is a 6-speed manual transmission. You also have your rev matching button. One thing that's interesting is that when you press the rev matching button, if you are in V mode, it's going to put your, let's say you're in first gear, it's going to highlight the number 1 in yellow, letting you know that rev matching is on. turn rev match off, the one goes back to a white fill. 2 cup holders. You get your little bit of storage space here for your key fob. You get your V button or V there. Then you get your 12-volt power outlet. You get a USB-A port, USB-C port, nicely padded armrest here, lockable lower glove box with tons of storage space in there. Auto-dimming rearview mirror, OnStar stuff, airbag stuff. Both of your lights up here at the front are LED. This particular one has been optioned with the sunroof, and the sunroof is a $1,050 option. It slides, it tilts. You get your lighting stuff here. This is your universal garage door opener. Here's a look at the sunroof. One thing that is nice is that you also do get the Alcantara suede headliner as well. It really adds to the sporty design. Get your vanity mirror, vanity lights. Does this slide in and out? It should. It's an American vehicle. You get a grab handle here for your driver, and you also get one over there for the passenger, and that's kind of about it for these front seats. I personally find this vehicle to be very comfortable. I love these performance bucket seats. They look fantastic. I'm 5'9", about 150 pounds, and they fit me perfectly. If you're taller, if you're thicker, I don't know how comfortable they would be. I think if you were about 200 pounds, they would be pretty snug. But if you're like me, definitely get these seats. Highly recommend it. A couple things I wanted to mention that you get with the Blackwing. You get your V mode. You get the performance traction control system. You get the V steering wheel that it's kind of got the thicker feel to it. And then you also get that center point line. And then you also get the carbon fiber here on your gauge, or excuse me, on your center console, and rev matching, etc. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You guys can take a look at everything, anything you want. I'm going to highlight the MSRP. The MSRP of the way that this particular 2026 Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing is spec'd is $75,130. This is nearly fully loaded. Yes, with the Blackwing, you get a quote-unquote nicer interior with the new screen. I like this screen better. Again, everybody's got their own opinion. That's just mine. I do want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. One thing I will say, again, smaller door here as compared to the 5V Blackwing, so you are going to have less space here at the rear. Again, automatic down window at the back. It is not automatic up. No storage space on the door panel. You get the V seat back. V seat back. It is Alcantara. They look sick. I'm 5'9". I still have like maybe an inch of headroom. So if you're 6'3", you'd probably want to slouch here in the rear, but you can make it work. 2 HVAC vents. You get a 12-volt outlet, a USB-C port. You also get a center fold-down armrest with 2 cup holders. I'm 5'9", adjusted behind myself. I've still got a little bit of knee and leg room. The seats in the second row might not be the most comfortable, but you can make it work if you got kids. But that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the interior of this thing. You know, we talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, one quick little thing I wanted to point out before we moved on to the driving portion of the video is look down here. You see how you get those numbers? So basically, see how it says 4.6? The 4 signifies that this is a CT4, and the 6 signifies that this is the 6-speed manual transmission. So let's say this was a CT5-V Blackwing, right? Well, that would be a 5, and let's say that it was optioned with the 10-speed auto. Well, it would be a 5 and a 1, signifying that it's a CT5 and that it's a 10-speed, whereas this is a CT4, and this one has the 6-speed, and then the 057 are the last 3 digits of the VIN number. Figured that would be something interesting that I was going to point out earlier in the video, but quite frankly, I forgot about it, but I did want to point that out. I thought that was a really cool little tidbit of information that you guys might want to know. But I'm going to do a little acceleration here for you guys. Guys, this thing really is totally slept on. I mean, it truly is. Nobody ever, like when somebody's talking about going and getting a new fast sedan and they're looking for something with a manual transmission, really this does not come up in conversation really all that much. And I think that is because, in my opinion, I don't think Cadillac is doing really the greatest job of advertising this, right? I mean, I know the V Blackwing, CT5-V Blackwing, that's really what gets all the hype, right? It's got the supercharged 6.2 liter V8, and quite frankly, I think if they would have put the LT1 or the LT2 in this, which is the V8, I think this thing would have sold a heck of a lot better than it does. And the reason being is people get stuck in their head of V8 versus V6, right? Oh man, it can't be good, it's a V6. Well, this is a V6, and I'm a tried and true V8 guy, right? All my cars are V8s. My Camaro, LS3. My Corvette, it's got the LS7, it's a Z06. This is fantastic, and I could have this as my daily because it sounds fantastic, and it's a different sound. It's not like all V8s, for the most part, really sound very similar. Especially like, you know, LS and LT stuff, they sound similar. Yes, they don't sound the same. And Hemi versus LT, yeah, they do have their own different sounds, and Coyotes and everything, they all sound different, right? But V6s and inline 6 cylinders can sound very good. I mean, I've personally find the S58 in the M3 to sound fantastic. And yeah, this sounds a little different. But it has a great sound to it in and of itself. It's got its own little tone. It's got its own personality, and that's what I like. And the clutch feels great. The shifter feels great. We got a TR6060 in my right hand. In my left foot, it's got a twin disc clutch from factory. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, it doesn't have the greatest low-end torque, right? However, it does have pretty good torque. Yeah, it's not going to have the same amount of torque as what you get in like something with a V8, but there is something really special about this V6. There really truly is. And I'm a tried and true V8 guy, but I can appreciate a good vehicle, and I can appreciate a good drivetrain, and this thing really truly does have a great drivetrain. I mean, it really sounds fantastic. Whatever Cadillac did with the exhaust system, they really got the V6 tone down. It doesn't sound like a garbage can like most V6s do. You know, you get a Charger or a Challenger with the Pentastar V6 and somebody puts an exhaust on it, it sounds freaking terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you, it does. This Cadillac spent some time getting this thing sounding right and sounding good, because it really sounds really fantastic. I mean, I'll show you that. I don't want to talk your ear off while I'm, you know, pulling up on this and sitting in traffic, but the sound is great. Also, the way that the clutch feels, the engagement is just really satisfying. So, and as is the shifter feel as well. I mean, it's almost like it's a short throw shifter from factory, but it's got like a nice satisfying longer throw than what you get with a short throw. I got an MGW short throw shifter in my Camaro, and I had a Hurst in it before, and the Hurst was freaking terrible. It was just too short and too notchy. This is like longer than my MGW, but it has a really good feel to it as well. I mean, look at these freaking Northern Virginia drivers, man. Here's an acceleration. Great acceleration. I mean, I don't know what this thing revs to. I can throw it on screen what RPM it revs to. I don't know because it's kind of in red, but it sounds really, really good. And I think this thing revs nearly to 7,000 RPM would be my guess. The induction note is great. Also, when you're in V mode, you get some nice crackles and pops. I'm gonna put the rev match shift on, see how it turned to yellow. All I did, clutch in, second gear, let off the clutch, and it revs me to the perfect RPM. Basically, if I did that in first, it would do the same thing. I don't really like to do that, but I'll do it for video's sake. Nice negative torque from the engine when you let off, it's slowing you down. Just a really, really great engine note. I mean, again, V8 guy, tried and true, really. I really like the sound of this. I mean, it really, truly does sound fantastic. And it also has a really good and nice pull to it as well. Like when you first hit it, you can hear the exhaust like really make a loud noise. But a good tone loud noise, you know? great car, man. I mean, truly, what a fantastic piece of engineering right here. And it's really quite a shame that more people either don't know about it or don't give this thing a shot, because it is just, it drives so well, it looks so good. The interior could use a little bit of an updating, but I personally like this screen. I do wish it had the same kind of knob that you get in the CT5, but this is peak interior to me, in my opinion. If you guys agree, let me know. But between the way that the brakes feel, like the brake feel is great, the clutch feel is great, the engine note is awesome, you get some nice crackles and pops. It's just a really fantastic sedan. I mean, there's not much more that I can say. It is surprising to me how good this is, because again, you don't really hear about anybody ever talking about getting one of these, right? Everybody's like, oh, I got the new M3, or oh, I got the CT4-V Blackwing. You don't really see too many influencers nowadays, or online, or etc., talking about this. And I think this needs to be talked about more, because it comes in at a fair price nowadays. I mean, you look at the price of sedans with manuals now, and they're over 100 grand easy. This is $25,000 less than that, and it's just as good. It really is just as good, in my opinion. So again, guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on this in the comments down below. I'm truly curious to hear what you guys think, because I think this is slept on, and I think this is one of the most slept on sedans in 2025. Suspension is great. It's not too bumpy, but you can feel it's nice and stiff, and it handles really well. I mean, so's the steering. I mean, you point it and it goes, right? I mean, it's just boom, right there, boom, right there, ready to go, ready to turn. Guys, I give this thing an 8 out of 10. I truly give this, and that is an honest to God score, 8 out of 10. This is so fun to drive. It's light, and it comes in again at an affordable price. I mean, everything now with this kind of driving experience is easily over 100 grand, easily. And this comes in at 75,000 bucks. And this right here, this is what has been dying after year after year after year. These are becoming less and less. So if you guys are looking for a sedan with a manual transmission, great driving experience, lightweight-ish, good suspension, I mean, you really need to go out and take a look at one of these, because Cadillac and GM, they're starting to introduce some really cool colors, as we can see here with the drift metallic and some other rapid blue and all these kinds of colors that Cadillac and Chevy is coming out with. Do an acceleration here. What a joy. What a joy. That's what I'll say. Just a fantastic driving experience. If you are on the fence of this versus, like, let's say a CT5V, not the Blackwing, but you're like, do I get the CT4-V Blackwing or the CT5V? I would say you really got to go out and test drive both of them, because with the CT5V, you cannot get with a manual. This you can get with a manual. So if you want a manual, get this. But also you can cross-shop this with a BMW M3 and you can save 20 grand minimum. Highly recommend you guys take a look at this if you guys are looking for a nice, fast sedan with a manual or an auto, whatever you're looking for. Go out and take a look at this. I mean, really do your due diligence if you're going out and getting a sedan with a manual. This thing is awesome, guys. But that's it for today's video. Enough ranting and raving about how good this thing is. That's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. Also, I post on TikTok and Instagram at 703speed. If you guys like car content, if you guys like plane content, lifestyle content, please follow me. I've been kind of burnt out doing reviews, and I'm really starting to get more into doing lifestyle stuff, travel stuff, car stuff, boat stuff, plane stuff. So if any of that stuff piques your interest, be sure to follow me on all social medias at 703speed. But again, I truly appreciate your support. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.